Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Let us continue. Where are we? I think we're flying around trying to get gold bricks, if I do recall correctly. Here's another Superman one. Come on, Superman, don't lose your height. It's a strange situation. You may also take note that you probably will never see any Lego pieces that are shaped like that cap is. Quite for the reason that it's very difficult to pull those off. If you buy any of the more expensive Lego kits, Lego sets, they'll give you a brick separator that helps you separate almost any two bricks, but they don't make any that are quite like you're seeing on the top of the heads there. What they will typically do is it will put either a hairpiece, like Superman's hairpiece, or Hal Jordan's hairpiece, or any other hairpiece, or it will look exactly like the studs, for the very reason that there's a lip there that can be used to grab onto it and pull it back off. Yeah, the two major complaints about Legos are that they're painful to walk on and hard to take apart. Another major complaint you can make is that the Lego sets are often rather expensive. I mean, undeniably they are expensive, but usually you're getting a license with that while you're at it. So, for instance, one of the Lego sets that I'm looking forward to purchasing at some distant point in the future, once I can justify paying the price, is the Lego Batman, no, not Lego Batman, Lego Ghostbusters Firehouse, which somewhat resembles a Ghostbusters Firehouse that I had as a child many years ago. So it's a new version in my mind of an old toy that I played with, and I don't know what happened to that toy. I imagine one of my parents threw it away. This maze is the exact same layout as the last time we did this. They didn't even bother to animate two of these. It's oriented slightly differently, but rotated, but that really doesn't mean anything at all. In the Ghostbusters playset I had as a kid, it wasn't made out of Legos. That's one thing, but it came with slime that you could drop through the ceiling and down all the way to the bottom. Let's see. I think we need a car for this one. There's too many of them. Take this bus. That was a pretty fun toy for my age. It was a pretty dumb toy by today's standards. It didn't do anything or really have much to it. I often wonder if kids these days can even enjoy standard plastic toys with no interactivity and no sounds coming out of it. I bet the answer is they can for a very short time, but pretty soon they're so enthralled with the iPhones and all of that that anything that's just a plastic doll is going to lose its appeal real fast. Alright, this is gonna take Robin in the acrobat suit with the lead pipe in the kitchen as my clue reference. Let's see, acrobat suit. Is still needed from that point. Trying to work my way backwards to see if there's any point here where we could kind of cheat. And this thing seems to go all the way around this building a couple of times. This is too much. It's just gonna be a real long experience. And then we go over here, and we go over here, and it's all the way down here. So we get this acrobat suit here, and we set in for a long journey. The Ghostbuster toys I used to play with as a kid, just to give an example, like they would have plastic proton packs, which were just plastic spirals, spiraling sticks, and you'd have to use your imagination to think that that was electricity coming out of the proton pack and hitting the plastic solid ghosts. I had another series that I got many years later called No, it wasn't called Micro Machines. I did have a couple of Micro Machines, and they're kind of the same issue because they were tiny little cars that you could very easily as a child choke on and die. And when I was a kid, they really weren't good about not making toys like that. But there was another one called Max something. I can't remember what. It's like Monster Max? I don't know. But it had these tiny, tiny little play sets that could fit in your pocket. And in the play sets were 2 or 3 really, really small plastic figurines. And it was about this kid, I think there was a cartoon around it too, that that he would, I think, go through different dimensions, and each dimension was full of monsters. And so the pocket play sets, there were a couple of bigger play sets. I had one that was a big old volcano too. But the pocket play sets, when you closed them and put everything away, would look like the monster. So there would be a mummy pocket play set that looked like the mummy's face. And you'd open it up, and inside there would be a couple of interesting things there to use your imagination with. But almost guaranteed to be immensely boring by today's standards. And if I didn't have nostalgia for these antique toys at this point, although I'm not sure if it would be quite appropriate to call them antique toys, because there are some really antique toys out there that the toys a generation before me often were made out of tin or lead or just metal, and you could cut yourself and hurt yourself. A lot of toys in the generation before me were BB guns and such, and so a lot of people would get shot and hurt with BB guns. fact, my grandfather, I mean, he wasn't very old at all before they gave him like a actual gun to go hunting with and such. And that was their babysitting in the days. They just have the kids go hunting for food that they needed to eat because they were starving farmers. And it would take them all day to catch a few small animals that they could eat, like a few birds, maybe a squirrel or two. Never anything big. It was never like you would go hunt a deer and then you would be eating pretty for like 6 weeks to a month. It was always, well, we found this small thing and that fed us, it gave them meat for maybe a couple meals. There we go. So I'd prefer if there was a lot less of this going on, of gold bricks inside the heads of the statues, and honestly I would prefer if there was a lot less statues, and I would prefer if there was a lot less of these pipes, these oil pipes here. Let's see if we can get away with this. Nope, I don't think so. Gotta work our way back down. Which way is down here? So what does this connect to? It's like a glide suit over there. Let's fly over here and get this one then. I wouldn't mind minifigures of all these characters. It wouldn't be terrible. A terrible thought, but one of the things that is the danger zone, but I really think they should do it, is somewhere, not prominent, but somewhere in this game they should just show you the, like, what you have to do, what number of playset you would have to buy to get these minifigures to play something similar to what you're seeing here. I mean, Lego has Lego designers that makes playsets, and it's amazing that none of those playsets end up in any of the Lego games. Not anywhere. You'd think in the free play area it would totally make sense that there'd be something like that, but there just isn't. So I go this way. Alright. And that gets that gold brick. But how do I get up there? Follow the studs. I have to go up there, okay. Like, I don't want Lego games to ever turn into a giant advertisement for other Legos things, but in a sense they already are. I mean, it's pretty impossible to deny that. Yeah, let's try this one. At the end of the day, some small percentage of people who play a Lego video game are going to want to buy some Legos. Something. And it takes a kid with better imagination to, I mean, I feel like you're fine letting kids play Lego games, but at the end of the day, you probably should give them some Legos and make them make their own games and play with it. Understand that not all play has to be in front of a TV, which is something strange for a video game critic to say, but true. So this is weird, the way that these, you can climb on them and you jump on top of them. Here we go. Looks like I could deconstruct that that gargoyle if there was a reason to. We really haven't seen any reason why we'd want to deconstruct half of the things around here. Seems like it's pretty much been relegated, not regulated, but relegated to an afterthought. Batman comes out of nowhere. I probably should turn into the Flash, but I can probably pull this off as long as bad guys don't show up and get my way. Alright, let's turn into the Flash. The bricks don't disappear fast enough. There we go. There we go. I could totally see a Flash game though. I'm surprised there hasn't been a Flash game yet. It wouldn't be that hard even. Just make an endless runner, or something like Mirror's Edge. Actually make something more like Mirror's Edge than an endless runner, because an endless runner would be kind of cheap. There's so many of these. You'd think, I mean, again, I guess if you don't have the gold brick detector, and you didn't know they were all here in the heads, then you wouldn't know to fly around. And it is a cheap excuse to force people to fly around the Superman. I'll grant you that. Let's see. Then you've got to walk out of here because these areas are so badly programmed. They're just awful. Like, there's a whole section here that we would have had to done, but we don't have to do it. If I can just either get in between the pipes or completely out from under the pipes. Yeah, let's... I can't help but feel like these pipes were introduced as a concept just to give an excuse for a few places to be the way they are. We have like a whole bar here. Oh, this is custom A, 2, B, C, D, E. And this is custom F, G, H, I, J. They gave us tons of customs because there's barely how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if I'm counting right. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. They barely gave us 50 characters. I'm sure they were contractually obliged to do 50, and that's all they did. Hey, we're over 1 billion studs right now. And since we have so many things already unlocked, it's not even really an issue of... I bet we never even go below 1 billion. If you're a kid or if you're a parent, either way, I would recommend very much do everything you can to keep your toys. Because there will be a time, almost certainly, when you turn 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You will be too old, too cool for the toys you had when you were like even 1 or 2 years old. Keep your baby stuff, keep everything if you can. Usually parents hopefully parents will keep it somewhere for you. Put it in the garage and not lose it and not clean out the garage 5 years later and throw it all away. Because I can tell you, I will practically guarantee it, at some point in your life, around your 30s, 40s, 50s, at some point in your life you're going to want that stuff. And it's not because you're going to give it to your kids, it's just because you're going to want to show it to your kids and you're going to be nostalgic with it. And no, you're not going to pull out those toys and play with them and have a great fun time with them. You will have moved on. But you still want it there. It's a part of your life. In fact, as a kid, it's a pretty big part of your life. I know I was way more interested in my toys than anything else that was going on in my life as a kid. So do everything possible. I sorely regret losing and not having practically any of my toys from my childhood. Part of the reason why I don't have them is because I was totally the person who was too cool for school and too old and too mature for that stuff. Part of it was because my parents simply threw it away or lost it in a move or something like that. And what my only option if I want to relive my past is to even slightly do it would require me to go to toy collectors and pay ridiculous amounts of money that I shouldn't pay and probably wouldn't ever pay just to have something, and I'd probably get a toy in packaging from a collector that then I would potentially want to destroy and open, which is not good for historical preservation. Talking of toys and the minifigs, though, I've not actually been able to encourage myself enough to get into minifig collecting. In general, I kind of understand it and kind of get it, but the way Lego does it, where each season you get these very standard characters, you will get a doctor, a clown, a medieval guy or something. That if you were going to really get every season of mini-kits, you're going to spend a lot of money because they're kind of expensive. And the way they're sold are in blind bags. So you would end up buying bags and potentially getting duplicates. And I'm just not super interested in every single thing they have to offer as far as the mini kits. I may get like the Justice League. I mean, that would make sense. It'd be cool to have a Superman minifig and all that. I already have the Ghostbusters, a couple others that came with sets. Mostly I like just the good sets. I'm more about the buildings than I am the characters. There we go. We're almost up to 200. 16 more gold bricks. And then we'll at 200. Again, the reason why I'm going back to the Green Lantern is I'm trying to keep it from playing the Superman theme song. It's a YouTube thing. People claim that song in copyright. So if it goes too long, it'll get ID'd.
Excuse me, sir.
So the Penguin's turning out to be very helpful finishing a lot of these things. And it's sad to say, I'm pretty sure I've never done all of these. That even between the 2 times I'm playing this game, this time and the last time I played it, I am almost 100% certain that I've never actually spent the effort to do half of these climbing up the side of the buildings tricks, puzzles. It's just, it's too long. And again, like I've been saying, the motivation to do any of this is almost zero. I was gonna say nil, but I said almost zero instead. Just, unless you're obsessive like me, unless you're covering it and trying to do 100% of coverage like me, there just isn't a reason. Oh, I can't believe I didn't get that. There really isn't a reason to run around here and collect all of these gold bricks. You're slightly pushed towards it to getting some of them, if not a significant amount of them, to get the bonus level, to get the extra characters that are around, but to get all 250, there really isn't a great reason. Alright, so we need a hazard suit. We need a hazard suit Robin. This is a magnetic suit Robin. No, that's not a magnetic suit Robin, that's just toxic goo. This Ace Chemical Factory is just leaking goo. This one's a bit of a puzzle. Let's see. Where do you start with this thing? This thing is way far. Down here. Down here.
Get them!
So, hazard suit. This is gonna be a long journey. Out of my way. This will be the last one we do this episode, probably. We are making progress, it's just slow. Slow as all get out. I don't see with some of those levels being super short, how they could justify doing what they did here. I don't even need to do that. I can just do that and skip that section. It's just, some of those story levels we did were 10 minutes, and it's potentially going to take me 10 minutes just to get to the top of this. That's purple, they want green. Some of these colors don't look right either, by the way. Like, this is green, apparently, when in all other cases it would be white. That's clear blue water, which actually might just be the color blue water. The shading and the darkness of the area isn't great. I still have the vine grapple on. I probably should turn that off. I should play the rest of the game looking at what the grapple looks like by default. Doesn't matter either way, it's simply an aesthetic thing. Appearance thing. Yeah, the best I can think to encourage players to actually play the open room is that after the first level, it says just a very Nintendo-like statement, like, why not take a break and run around the open area for a while? Why not check this out? Just straight up tells you, doesn't particularly force you into it, but might very well need to force you into it. Oh, that's strange. It's green, but it took the purple paint. I would have thought it would have wanted green sludge. Come on, save. Yeah, see, it would have made a lot more sense to have to come over here and get the green sludge through this. Because then that would have been a tricky little trick. But no, it worked perfectly fine with the purple. Whatever. So let's look at the map here. Where are we? We could remove the marker for now. We are right here. We've got a vehicle here, a gold one here. We've done a pretty good job of getting rid of a lot of the gold pieces, but there's still a lot of gold pieces, a lot of vehicles, a lot of characters. Down here is completely done, except it's got a couple purple things, but I think the purple things are just vehicles. I think? Maybe not. Maybe the purple things are people in peril. Well, we'll see. We'll see once what the purple things are once we've got everything else real quick. But yeah, pretty sure they're just pre-assigned places for vehicles. So we're making good progress though. Anywho, that's going to be it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.